Hey there, oh my God, I've made at least 15 versions of this video, so hopefully this will be my final take. I'm gonna go ahead and say that it is. Today I'm talking about Cypress essential oil. This is the tester. I've been sitting here and smelling it and trying to decide which features to tell you guys about because there's almost too much to tell you about Cypress for this short little video, so I'm gonna shorten it up and tell you three main things. Number one, Cypress has been associated with death and the afterlife and the underworld. From an ancient Greek perspective, it was associated with the god Hades, and you would often find cypress trees planted in cemeteries as a symbol of grief, but also as a symbol of the solace or comfort that we can get from the cypress tree. It's also been used to build the sarcophagus or coffin that the ancient Egyptians would put their bodies into before they put them in the tomb. So we have this association with death, which is interesting, but the cypress tree seems to have been used as a symbol of connection between the physical world that we know and the afterlife in a positive way. So it offered solace and ease in dealing with that transition. The second thing I want to tell you about is that from an Oriental medicine perspective, cypress is known to move the blood or stimulate the flow of blood. So it's been used for medicinal purposes for things such as regulating menstruation, helping with blood pressure and tonifying, or its astringent properties are helpful to tonify the blood vessels. And it's also been used for treatment of hemorrhoids. So I'm not going to tell you exactly how all of those things are done. You can always do your research before you use any oil medicinally. But wanted to mention those because it's important from a physical standpoint. And then the third thing, which is my very favorite, is that cypress oil from an emotional or mental standpoint has been used therapeutically to help people process trauma. It's been said that in studies that people who are using cypress essential oil to help them process trauma tend to process it up to 3 times faster or more easily and in less time than a person who's not using the cypress oil as part of the therapy. And these are all studies that can be found online. If you have any questions about anything that I talk about, let me know and I can forward you some links with the research articles to show you where the information is coming from. So very interesting, and if you're working with cypress from a therapeutic perspective, it's also important to note that if a person isn't quite ready or they're not really sure they want to dig into past traumas yet, it's probably a better idea to work with a professional if you're planning to use cypress oil, because you don't want to unleash a whole bunch of stuff, a whole bunch of emotions that you've been pressing down and holding inside for a long time if you're not ready for that. So there's a strengthening process of the sense of self before somebody is really ready to go into processing trauma. So I want to make that very clear. This isn't sort of a willy-nilly thing that you just do on your own. So be responsible, as always, with your essential oils and do your research and use them properly and use them well and enjoy them. Most of all, enjoy. Take care. Namaste.